What you're listening to are musicians performing psychedelic music under the influence of a mind-altering chemical called
the spice. So you've seen a few episodes of the Star Wars shows and you've wondered, what is this spice stuff they keep talking about? Is it pretty strong? Can you get it from Pookie and Ray Ray and friends? In this video, I'm going to talk about the spice in Star Wars and its origins, as it's always been mentioned but never really shown being used, and it's never clearly explained in canon material what exactly it is. Unlike how clearly explained how awesome the subscribe button to this channel is, the pressing of which will make Ahsoka polish it for use in beating up those who do not subscribe to this channel. This should go without saying, but this video will be discussing some edgy subject matter, so if you're under 21 or whatever the legal age is where you're from for ingesting certain chemicals, I kindly ask that you leave.
Quick! Get out! Get out of here!
The spice is a substance in the Star Wars universe that is used to make recreational things, much like baking soda in our real world.
smoke.
Recreational things with sometimes mind-altering properties that artists, criminals, and actors love to enjoy.
Smoke.
To a few politicians, it's a part of their well-balanced breakfast in the morning.
Are you smoking yet?
Okay. I have to make this video YouTube friendly. Enough of that. Whatever you do, don't do drugs. This video is meant to be entertaining and educational only.
Don't do it!
The spice is highly sought after and very valuable, both during the time of the Republic and at the time of the Galactic Empire. What exactly makes it illegal in both regimes is unknown for sure, but it is known to be dangerous to some extent. What could make it dangerous will be explored later in the video when we explore its origins and what its inspirations are. What we do know is that it's mined by slaves on various worlds by various crime syndicates, the most famous being the spice mines of Kessel. The spice mines of Kessel were featured in Solo and Star Wars Rebels. Also called the Dark, the spice mines of Kessel were a series of labor camps. Mining there was very dangerous, so it was used as punishment sometimes. That's why they used the disposable labor of slaves, especially Wookiees, due to their strength. The hazardous conditions of mining spice severely decreased the life expectancy of humanoids. 3 years for regular people, 3 months for Wookiees. Spice mining is carried out by using refineries and mine shafts and pits. The most famous organization that mines spice is the Pykes Syndicate. The Pykes were a race first introduced in Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Also called the Pyke family, they operated in the criminal underground of their homeworld, though it's not really underground since they're all in on it. They're humanoid with some lanky limbs, dark robes, and some fishy faces under their signature masks they wear, which makes them look like Flatwoods monsters. But in the Book of Boba Fett, they kinda look different. I guess they got redesigned or whatever. I don't know why they did this, but alright, okay. They tended to not transport the spice they mined across the galaxy themselves. Instead, they opted to enlist smugglers to transport it across the galaxy in crates such as these. Likely so they can take the blame and burden and risk if they get caught, and not the Pykes. There are also a few different kinds of spice, 2 of which are Rill and Sansana. But what inspired the spice? What really inspired it besides, the real world general depictions of illicit substances? Well, if we go back 12 years before the release of A New Hope in 1977, 6 years before old Georgie had the idea of a space opera, there was a popular science fiction novel called Dune. The spice in Star Wars is a direct and obvious reference to the spice in Dune. Almost everything about the spice in Star Wars is lifted from it, right down to raw spice being one of the most valuable things in the universe. Dune started off as a science fiction novel, and it has many sequels. Also, it has a few adaptations. I did reviews of 2 of them, so you should go watch those after you're done watching this video. Link in the description, or in a tag somewhere. In Dune, spice is usually depicted visually as an orange, reddish, sand-like powder. It too is a mind-altering chemical. But it also expands consciousness. It could awaken dormant parts of the human brain and provide psychic powers along with other health benefits. However, it's very addictive. Like many narcotics in real life, the addiction increases the more and more it's used, to the point that if you stop using it, you just die, thus increasing the market for it more and more. Stocks. It's mined on the inhospitable desert planet of Arrakis and produced from sandworms. In Star Wars, it's shown that the spice is also an orange-red powdery substance. Whether or not it has the same effects as in Dune has yet to be seen, as its usage is never explored, but it can be inferred that it is probably the same or similar, because we can't have drug use in our family-friendly Disney franchise. Just imagine what would happen if we did, or if, God forbid, America's most family-friendly restaurant did.
Don't use drugs. Listen, McDonald's wants you to give yourself drugs, so don't stop it. Use drugs.
On a side note, in the MMORPG Star Wars Galaxy, the spice was a consumable item that you could craft if you were in the smuggler class. If used, it would increase some of your stats while decreasing others. Once the effect wore off, you would go into withdrawal and start to vomit, with all of your stats decreased. And I think that's pretty cool. And now, a word from our sponsor. Hi, I'm Filmron, and as you may know, I make YouTube videos sometimes. When I'm not, I can be found doing things like drinking Fabuloso, eating mushrooms that grow under the toilet, and yelling like a maniac at valid criticism. How do I stay so crazy? Filmron's Crazy Pills. Now you can lick the gum off the boots of strangers, or even dress as Shrek at Disneyland. Only with Filmron's Crazy Pills, now in 3 colors. Let's explore a few of these, starting with Rill. Due to scattered information on this spice, I'll be including more things from Legends than usual, which I don't usually do. I only focus on canon material, but this video is starving for content, so let's have at it. In canon, Rill is mined from Ryloth, and has applications other than being used in spice drugs. In Star Wars Legends material, it's described as being a weak form of spice that's also used to make medicine. Because of that, it's licensed in the Republic and the Empire, only to pharmaceutical companies for use in painkillers and anesthetics and stuff. Sansana spice is a form of spice that is harder to come by and stains the user's hands and mouth since it's taken orally. Sansana spice also seems to be the main type of spice that's depicted and referred to in Star Wars canon when it's mentioned. Next is Glitter Stem. Glitter Stem is that stuff. It's the most powerful form of spice. In Legends, it's used to give the user a heightened and pleasurable boost in telepathy. For a brief period, of course. Similar to the spice in Dune, it gives extrasensory abilities, which makes me think of a theory. What if you gave a character Glitter Stem spice? Would they develop force abilities? Apparently in Legends, it's made from the webs of arachnids called spice spiders. Spiders! Very creative name, by the way. These spiders live where else but in the spice mines of Kessel. Also called energy spiders, they shoot webs from their mouth to capture prey, instead of from where it should come from. What exactly do space spiders that make drugs eat? Well, apparently they eat things called bogies. They react and cause the glitter stem webs to glow in the dark. The spice from these spiders can only be mined in the dark, or else it would be ruined as it's photoactive like undeveloped film. What do you get when you mix Rill with Glitter Stem? You can feed your spice spiders Rill and it will mix to become Glitter Rill, causing them to grow to large sizes. Other kinds of spice include Polstein and Moon Gold. With all these different kinds of spice to sell, it's no wonder the Pykes Syndicate makes so much money in a bid to prevent Boba Fett from getting a second season of his extremely mid show that he's barely in after the first few episodes. But what if things like spice were real? That would be hilarious, wouldn't it? I'm sure there wouldn't be an entire state where people abuse this stuff. That would be absurd. Anyway, what do you think about the spice? Do you want some? Let me know why you think this video was a bad idea in the comments below. Also, I cannot stress this enough. This video is made for fun entertainment purposes only. Don't ingest illegal substances. Oh, you're still here. Well, since you're still here, I'd like to tell you about this song from the Mexican internet I found, called Entre las Joyas by Vitral. I know my Spanish is bad, don't crucify me. I came across it while reading the comments of a Tool video here on YouTube. If you recognize my channel logo, then you might have figured out that I'm a huge fan of prog rock and prog metal. This song is great, and so is the music video. The album it's from is called Asymptoda, and in fact the entire thing is just great. It's just pure prog rock, doom metal-y goodness. It's perfect to sit back and listen to while you're doing some spice, as long as you don't mind the lyrics being in another language if you don't speak Spanish. It's not very well known, so go give it a listen. And yes, this is an official shout out. That's all I wanted to say. Talking about this wouldn't really fit into any video of its own, so yeah, here it is. This video was basically just to give this shout out. Remember, anything said about drugs in this video is a joke. Don't do them unless they are prescribed to you by a legitimate doctor. Subscribe to this channel if you want more content like this. Have a good one.